For more on this, I'm joined by security expert Bish for more of this development. It would seem that the approach to rescuing the kidnapped victims has now evolved to kinetic plus non-kinetic. We're hearing dialogue and force. But what's there to negotiate if you're not paying ransom?
Well, there is nothing wrong in adopting both kinetic and non-kinetic measures so long as the kidnapped students are rescued alive. The only thing that I will add is that I don't know what non-kinetic measures that they are talking about. I am hoping that the non-kinetic measure they are talking about is not trying to pay ransom to get the school children rescued, and not giving the kidnappers an off-ramp in which they will not be prosecuted for the crimes that they have committed. You know, I have said the president was right in making a call that there should not be any payment of ransom to rescue those students, that the military must do whatever it takes to rescue them and bring them back home safely. Because if we continue to pay ransom each time they kidnap students, it will not stop. It will just open a floodgate of more banditry and more kidnappings, because the thing as a whole has become a commercialized criminal enterprise in which a group of people, particularly in northern Nigeria, are conniving and colluding and sponsoring unemployed youths in northern Nigeria and some of the neighboring countries to kidnap Nigerians and extort money from our government. And we should not let that happen.
So you heard the director of Defense Media Operations saying today that the victims are kept in what he called, that they are being held in hard-to-reach locations. Just how much pressure is the military under right now? And how difficult is the task of rescuing over 400 victims from the 3 incidents in the past 2 weeks?
It's a very challenging situation, I must admit, when you have 200 people kidnapped. And I'm wondering where they kept 200 people and how they have been able to attend to them in that same location. I am thinking that they may not have kept all of them in that same location, because keeping them in one location is going to be much more difficult for them to be able to, prevent them from escaping. I am thinking that they must have dispersed into smaller groups in different places. That is why it's important that the first 72 hours of that kidnap is important, that the perimeter is established in which those kidnappers and those they are holding hostages cannot cross that perimeter without being caught. It's just that we don't take this matter seriously, and most times the areas that these kidnappings and abductions take place are usually in the rural areas that are quite distant away from security presence. So by the time the security agents get to those places, they have already vanished into the thin air. So yes, I understand it's going to be very difficult because of the large number of students that are involved. But military, this is their area of jurisdiction. That is their profession. They must have to find a way to free those students without paying ransom and without giving the kidnappers off-ramp in which they are not prosecuted.
Time is of essence, and we're hoping that the countdown to rescue will not be as long as the previous ones that we have covered. Security expert Bish, thank you for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.